Alright, so I'm gonna start the new quest line, Khvarena of Good and Evil, whatever that's supposed to be. If I even said that right. Heading out. Found it! Found it! Paimon wonders what it is. It looks like a drum with a cryo symbol on it? Huh? Ah! How come this is no treasure? It's just some tattered old drum. We don't know what it could be used for, either. If we brought this to Reingen, the antique seller... let's go to Academia. That's right, they might want to hear more about something we found in the desert. Paimon's not all that interested in this studying stuff, but if we can make a little this and that off their budget, why not, right? Hold on. There's a note over there at the side. It might just hold some clues. Oh boy. This time, I've been commissioned to try and find a local order and obtain information about something known as the Sign of Apasa. I must say that rumination seems quite outsized when compared with the mission content. I hope I won't get caught up in any trouble. I reached the entrance to the Tamir Mountains with the help of an Aramite mercenary, but he refused to continue onward, saying that this was the border of a war. Must be some sort of desert dweller superstition. Contrary to what I was told, it seems that these Najar Junites are not very friendly to outsiders. Looks like I'll have to try infiltrating their ranks. I finally managed to make it out. Thankfully, these people are pretty civilized, so I managed to get away with my life. As I thought, these high rumination commissions always have something fishy going on. Looks like an adventurer's work doesn't suit people who just want to earn some quick mora. I'll just leave this drum here. Maybe someone will pick it up. That way I guess I won't totally disappoint Miss Catherine. The Paimancy. Huh, this seems to have been left by an adventurer. The sign of Apasa. Huh, Paimon's not super sure what this guy's talking about, but he sure is irresponsible leaving a commission unfinished just because it's hard. But since that's how things are, let's hand this drum over to Catherine and let her reassign someone to complete whatever commission this was. Do. They've gone quite well, thank you. I heard about your previous adventures. It seems that you've become very experienced. As long as you keep going, I believe that it will be a matter of time before you become a truly great adventurer. Speaking of adventurers, we found this on one of ours. This was left behind by some irresponsible adventurer. We thought it'd be bad if the commission he took never got resolved, so we brought it back here. Indeed. This item is key to a particular commission. Thank you very much. The commission linked to this drum is a very important one from the Academia and is also critical to the expansion of our operations. Unfortunately, though we have previously given this commission to various talented adventurers, they have all invariably failed. Oh boy, here comes trouble. Well, this is an issue that even the Academia cannot solve, so we did expect a relatively high failure rate. Actually, Paimon's getting kind of curious now. What sort of commission is this, anyway? Simply put, a recent star observation by researchers from academia led to the discovery that the northern skies have become blocked by a strange, heterophore unseen phenomena. Concerned that this would have a great impact on the accuracy of any astronomical calculations, the academia immediately put people together to investigate. This resulted in them delving into ancient records, within which they found mentions of a strange phenomenon known as the sign of Apasa, which bears strange similarities to the recent occurrence. According to these records, this celestial sign appeared after the disaster that engulfed most of Tibet 500 years ago. Although the circumstance of its eventual disappearance are unclear, its position has been determined to be near the Timor Mountains, at the northernmost regions of the desert. However, that area has only ever been sparsely populated. Even when the ancient desert realms were at their peak, they did not extend that far. And after the cataclysmic 500 years ago, the place was one of the areas worst affected by the encroaching abyss due to it being connected to an ancient underground realm. Since then, it has been declared as restricted zone by the academia. The only people who still live there are a mysterious darshan known by the academia as the Naga Jonits. Huh, a mysterious darshan, you say? If even you're calling it mysterious, Catherine, it's gotta be something super mysterious. Though they seem like legends to the average person, they were once a darshan of the academia, a late one that split off 500 years ago. Then the researchers who wished to fight the monsters from the abyss banded together and traveled to the depths of the desert, and the Naga Junits are an organization comprised of people who stayed there in the end. That said, it has been many years since, and they have branched off further and further from the academia. They even seem to have developed their own academic traditions. It seems that they also worship a form of energy known as Khvarena. This energy communicates with them in the form of spirits. Well, I feel that I'm going off topic now. The academia believes that this faction is strongly related to the social sign. However, they have not been able to establish contact with this group, and as such, have commissioned the guild to assist in their investigations. This is a win-win situation for us as well. Ruins related to Khvarena are located nearby, but exploration in that area has been declared taboo by the academia until now. If this commission is a success, perhaps you'll be able to participate in future expeditions to those ruins. Since you have heard me say this much, why don't you take this commission on? Well, since Khvarena is involved, so after all that, it sounds like we just need to look for those whatever it's, right? Sounds like it'll be pretty easy, and we'll get some more from the academia, too. Yes, that drum you picked up was originally given to us by the academia to be used as a token of good faith in our dealings with the Naga Junits. Just give it to the organization's leader. It stands to reason that they will have some way to solve this problem. I'll be leaving this task in your hands then. I've marked the rough position of the Tamir Mountains for you. Ab Ashra Abasask. Traveler, may you inscribe a new legend in the desert sands. Alright, so let's head back that way. Waypoint unlocked. That must be the sign of Pasa, huh? Not gonna bother reading all that. Actually, yeah, I'll just go to here. They look like regular Emirites. Who are you? You guys don't look like tribespeople of the desert, more like adventurers from a faraway land. But no matter who you are, this is as far as you will get. Please go back. We're here to resolve the issue regarding the sign of Apasa. The sign of Apasa? How did you know of this name? We are adventurers who have an organization at our backs. Catherine of the Adventurers Guild told us, of course. Since you know the sign of Apasa, you must have heard of us Shamaninjas? Order of Skeptics, right? Desert past this point is a restricted zone under our guard. As a ranger of the Order of Skeptics, I cannot let you pass, no matter what reason you may have. Order of Skeptics? My apologies. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Pierho, however you say that, a member of the Order of Skeptics in charge of guarding this place. Order of Skeptics? Paimon remembers that Catherine told us to look for the Naga Jusits or something. Seems like Pyro isn't the one we're looking for. Naga Junits? That's just a derogatory name that those guys from the rainforest have for us. Lord Nagarjuna is a hero who fought against the Dev alongside the Divine Bird's heirs. He gained divine power through the rite of Chinvat and put an end to the calamity. How dare they call such a great hero and our first... all these weird names. Vijnepti? Oh my god. By his given name. Wait, why am I telling you outsiders this? Are you two spies from the academia? We're here because we accepted a commission from the academia. So the academia folks have been reduced to hiring some no-name adventurers to do their dirty work, eh? Cowards, just as I thought. First of all, dude, we stopped the dragon from causing havoc in Mondstadt. We slayed a god in Liowa. We just stopped the Vine Strike of a god in Inazuma. How are we no-name adventurers? Exactly? You're the one out of the loop here. Even Fontaine has heard as of the Traveler, okay? I thought they might send some mercenaries over at the worst. What an oversight on my part. Paimon didn't expect you to have such a strong opinion about the academia. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we stopped a man-made god in Sumer. We fought 3 gods. And won. How does this all work out as us being no name? Anyways, of course, Lord Nasharaha, or Nashara, has said that we wouldn't have been reduced to the state if it weren't for them. Wait, so you're here to gather intelligence after all? I've revealed more than I should. Anyways, please leave. If this conversation continues, as unwilling as it might be to do so, I would have to end you. What? You're the one who couldn't resist blabbing. Why are you putting the blame onto us? Also, there's no need to be rash. Oh, right. Traveler, show Power the token that Catherine gave us. He'll know what's going on once he sees it. Token? This had better not be some trick. Ta-da! Look, told you we weren't lying. What is this stabby drum? You call this a token? Huh? Did Catherine mix things up? You guys don't think you can bribe me with such a small thing, do you? Leave now, or things will get nasty. Don't you underestimate us, skeptics. Okay, bring it on.
There is no escape.
Cease, I say. Lord Sharash, why did you... You didn't have to attend to such trivial matters personally, let alone in front of these outsiders. We, Perry, appear before whoever we wish, and our volition is not for you mere mortals to question. How dare you overstep your bounds? This whole thing is about Paimon's eyes, and the way she talks is kind of funny. Why is Pierho calling lady in that reverent tone? Your sins will be judged. But the time for that has yet to come. The 2 of you over there. As envoys of the Academia, it is only polite to state your names first, no? Yeah, we should have introduced ourselves first, but that high and mighty attitude of yours. My words and actions are not contrary to tradition and principles of the Pari. The same cannot be said for you nameless persons. Fine. We're not nameless. Paimon is Paimon, and he's Traveler. We're adventurers who came here on a commission. I'm the one who is an adventurer. Hey, we adventure together all the time. I need only know your names. Your other trivialities do not concern me. However, as for that drum, that item has a profound connection to us prairie, and is not something that you mortals should possess. Traveler, I commend you to present it to me immediately. No, wait, at least sound nicer about it when you're asking someone for a favor. Besides, this item is important to our commission. We're to hand it to the leader of this order of yours. If we give it to you and fail to complete the commission because of that, not only might we lose our reward, we might even have to pay more to the Venturers Guild. That's a huge loss. Reward? Mora, to think that you would risk your lives in a place fraught with peril for such frivolous reasons? You know nothing of what transpires here. One mistake could send your race tumbling into an endless samsara, and yet you commit deeds that are beyond even our comprehension. Humans are such interesting beings. No matter, I shall bring you to the leader you speak of. This item would remain worthy tribute even if you should only present it to me after that meeting. That's more like it. Wait, that's still not right. We still have to deal with that huge hole in the sky, and if we don't... Huge hole? You refer to the sign of Pasha, then. You wish to quell this calamity with mere mortal coils? Ha! How presumptuous. It is the duty of us Prairie to eradicate the sign of Pasha, an endeavor that I, Soros, shall give my all to accomplish. To quell this calamity, I must follow in the footsteps of the divine bird, Simurg, and sacrifice everything that one might call Sorosh. To stand in my way is not a sin that one such as you may bear. Simurg? Foolish beings, have you not heard of the divine bird Simurg? She is the master of Khvarena, who once saved the land from destruction. Legend has it that it was she who split into infinite motes of Khvarena after her sacrifice, thus quelling the catastrophe. Sure, but Paimon doesn't think that we'll need you to sacrifice yourself. Huh. In any case, this matter is far beyond your capabilities, and your intervention is futile. All you must do is bear silent witness as I transcend. You shall receive remunerations from this guild of yours so long as the calamity is quelled. Will you not? Still, do not forget to extol my virtues and laud my accomplishments. After all, even the greatest heroes shall require mere mortals like you to sing of their deeds. But Lady Sharash, I'm not repeating that name, has instructed us to forbid suspicious individuals from interfering before the ritual is completed. I have decided, and as a Peri, my word is law. All right, follow me. I shall take you to the leader you spoke of. But gird yourselves all the same. That which lies ahead is not a place that human beings can easily set foot in. If you get lost or end up being eaten by some monster appearing out of nowhere, there shall be nothing I can do for you. Follow the floating pink thing.
No, my sword!
And shroud! I hear everything. Keep up. Keep moving! Bring it on!
Shine down! Let me weave you a verse. Huh?
Yeah! Pressure! Cyclone!
What do you mean, Dev? Aren't these just abyss mages and helicorals? To think you would so easily defeat the rampaging Dev. Your strength is most radiant indeed. Consider me impressed. Though there is still quite the gap between you and us, Perry, the sight of you fighting valiantly reminds me of those humans of legend who once fought alongside us. I have decided then, you shall have the honor of being my Yeshnepati. I am not repeating that word. Paimon doesn't know what that is, but coming from you, it can't be anything good, really. Do you not have such things amongst humans, strategists, scribes, and the like, those who exist to praise the heroes whose stories they exist in? Neither of those jobs are what you just described. No matter how great the hero, their great deeds must be recorded and sung by others. If not, the same fate that befell ancient heroes shall befall them also. Okay, so you're more so describing a bard, which you'd want Venti for. Except he's a wanderer and he's probably not going to come here. Because he stays in Mondstadt. Or actually, no, he's been to Liyue too. I can't say he stays in Mondstadt. Though they may have loved violence and conflict, great deeds are still great deeds, and they deserve to be remembered. Alas, those who loved conflict would be consumed by it, and once they had slain each other, they were all lost. And because there were no authors or poets to tell their deeds, once all who had lived in such times were gone, their works forgotten to the last. I will not be like them. My great work shall shine so gloriously that the world itself will suffer great loss to know of it. Thus I shall now give you permission to record those deeds. Rejoice and give thanks, for this is not a grace that few receive from us, Perry. This all sounds very complicated, but basically you just need someone to tell you how awesome you are, right? Can you find a skeptic to help you out there? The skeptics? I may admire their spirit, but other than their leader, who you mentioned previously, the rest are not fit for such work. They speak all day of how conflict is the true nature of this world, but they themselves have lost all ability to engage in such. None of them will be able to witness my sacrifice to its end. Whatever the case, it has been decided. Fret not, you shall be free to do as you please once I have sacrificed myself to restore the pure skies. Till then, we shall witness my valiant form. Well, sure, even if Paimon can't see it. Okay. Oh, a new type of plant. Let's see if I can gather seeds from this. Did I get seeds? Nope, I just got the flower. Okay, never mind. Not gonna bother. And there's also a turtle thing. Are you hostile or are you just hiding? Can I push you into the water? You came out of your shell when you realized I wasn't going to attack you. At you in the water. I don't even know if I can attack this thing. Can I attack this thing? Nope. Okay. That's the end of that. The path here is now dotted with great crystals. When I last left it, it was not yet so. Great crystals? You mean the crystals we're seeing everywhere? Paimon's had her eyes on them for a while now. What are they? Great crystals are remnants of the Black Fire's embers, proof that this land had suffered great calamity. The calamity. Indeed. I am sure you have heard that a great catastrophe struck long ago, where dark fire rose from beneath the earth and scorched the land. The dark fire opened a bottomless hollow in this land, and the demons of Dev that crawled through that gap nearly turned this into a lightless realm. Though the gap was blocked by the great tree, the dark fire's filth spread like seeds, and the countless dark and painful memories released by that corruption began to lay down roots and sprout. This persisted till the honored lord of Khvarena, the divine bird Simurg, drank the primordial water left behind by our god before transforming herself into Khvarena of all kinds and scattering across the land. From that day on, Khvarena have taken the divine bird's place in defending this land, and those painful memories that leaked out have been sealed by Khvarena. What was left are these ubiquitous gray crystals. Though they seem no different from any other stone, they may contain objects that are yet to be purified. The great crystals in the area have increased of late. I suspect this has something to do with the sign of Pasha's dark power. But if we use Khvarena's might, we can get rid of these crystals. If my senses do not deceive me, a wandering Khvarena should be nearby. Let us look around. I'm gonna grab this achievement real quick. Okay. Treasure hoarders in here? And they're messing with the Sealy.
I'll uproot you!
There is no escape. Rain outlines your fate.
Hurts!
Smells like something good is inside.
Would you stop climbing this weird tent thing? So it is up.
Yeah.
Is it up higher? I think it's up higher. Lady Sharash, Khvarena's envoy, you have returned. Though it has taken much work on my part, the analysis of documents regarding the right of Chinvat will soon be complete. According to my research, we need only collect all the great songs of Khvarena next, and your great work may then be completed. Wait a moment. You two are... Do not fret. They are Traveler and Paimon, my newly chosen Jeshnapati and his companion. They are here to witness my great work. Hey now, Paimon hasn't agreed to that yet. Ah, Yeshpatnat. I'm not saying it again. You say, though I will not question your most astute judgment, I fear that allowing ignorant outsiders into this land before the rite of Chinvat is complete may have untold effects. Know that the people of the Academia surely do not desire the rite's completion. Speak no further. I have my reasons for doing this. Well then, take that drum from before out, Traveler and Paimon. A Corybantus. A Corybantus, you say? Ha ha ha! Yes, this is an important catalyst for the ritual needed to forge a lupa between ourselves and the Peri. I have searched for many years for this, and to think it now comes to me. Ah, this is indeed a good omen for my future plans. It would be good if the fates will also be with me Oi, when I lead the Order of Skeptics to throw down the Academia and burn their houses of Denna, or whatever they call it, to the ground. Whoa, what a way to casually paint yourselves as the villain, huh? Villain? Ha! The Academia are the true villains here. Have no doubt of that. I forgot my introductions. I am Nashajuna, the Thijnatpati of the Order of Skeptics, who we cultivate ourselves here. If you would use the terminology of the Academia, I would say the equivalent as a sage. But I doubt those pampered folk would care much for what we are, or what we at the margins call ourselves. You do not look much like those of the Academia might send. We did take a commission from them, sure. And so you are of them, after all, but it matters not. Even if the entire Corpse Authority were to be sent here, my plans could not be halted. Well, whatever your plans are, we didn't come here to stop them, that's for sure. Ha! So they would all say, those treacherous louts from the Academia, and when my guard is down, you would stab me in the back. Just those people in funny masks who try to skulk about and steal our academic tomes. They even dared to attack our honored envoy of Khvarena, Lady Sharash. And they met defeat at my hands, each one of them. I'm guessing those were the Fatui. The Fatui? I know not of what you speak, but they were city folk, so I doubt the Academia would be far behind in the shadows. Do not look upon us as some miserable few who inhabit the Tamir Mountains. We once had such numbers that all the desert north of Mount Damavad would struggle to hold us. It is only because of our harsh environment and the slanders and ostracism by the Academia that I have been reduced to this. If it was not for such sage souls as myself holding things together in the protection of Khvarena, we skeptics would have been reduced to nothing long ago. Sounds like quite the disagreement, yes. Catherine said that you have your differences, but it sure looks to Paimon like you skeptics really hate the Academia. Say not hate, but rather that we simply cannot coexist. When I was young, I did go there to learn in an attempt to mend our differences, but they treated me like an outsider. Though they feign politeness by calling us a branch of the Academia, this is not but a means to belittle us. It is said that our predecessors had a clash of ideals with them, and so chose to go into the desert to stand against the darkness themselves. From that day on, we have been holding firm in the war against defilement, defending our land, and what have those useless louses been doing in the meantime? Compared to those pampered pedants, we who combine thought, word, and deed far better deserve honor for our wisdom. Paimon doesn't quite get it. You need only understand that conflict is the true nature of this world. Khvarena and impurity, Dari and the true way. It is these struggles for supremacy that have kept this world alive, just as surely as the sky does. Those sophists in their fancy darshans believe that the fates of all are inscribed in the sky, and that this is the supreme wisdom and truth. But look, the sky reflects defilement itself. Surely their truth, then, is an imperfect thing. Perhaps nothing is truly perfect. Ah, think you thus? Then we might yet be friends. If time permits, we may discuss this issue in more detail. Nasharai, this is not the time to talk about such things. Have you not seen how the gray crystals hem us in ever more tightly? If we do not extinguish the sign of Pasha soon, things shall grow most perilous indeed. Well, speaking of the sign... Right, that's right. We were tasked to fix this whole thing. But after all this talking, we still don't know what it's supposed to be. Ha! Well, our plans also involve distinguishing that celestial mark. As for what it is, if it must be described as anything, let us call it the water's surface. The water's surface? Your explanation just makes things more confusing. The water's reflection, while an illusion, nonetheless hides the truth within itself. So it is with the skies. It is like a mirage, if you have seen those before. The big hole up there is way spookier than any mirage. Well, it should be, for that celestial sign reflects an otherworldly hellscape. Long ago, Darai once built a facility here that connected them to realms beyond. Oh, Conria. During the great disaster which they say the Darai started, monsters swarmed from that very facility into the nations of the world. The monsters tore open a great rift that came to be called the Tunigi Hollow, and though they were sealed away with the new vein of the ancient tree, this mysterious sign appeared along with it, or with that. What the sign reflects is that which lies beyond the dark rift, and though the monsters cannot enter Teyvat through that illusion, it nonetheless radiates corrupt energies. They say that our very first, I'm not repeating that word, extinguished that sign together with the Pari, but as the power of impurity has strengthened over time, this ancient symbol has appeared once more. And so we leave it be, and should we leave it be, who knows? The hollow may truly re-emerge one day, and that ancient world will be reenacted. In truth, it might be interesting to live in such exciting times. What? No, that wouldn't be interesting at all. It matters not. Simurg drank the Amrita left behind by our god, transmuting herself into the limitless Khvarena. As the heirs of the divine bird, solving this problem is the mission that we, Peri, have. I, Surash, will surely leave behind a work great enough to be her equal. Of course, Khvarana's envoy, and we of the Order of Skeptics will surely help you see your duty through. What's with all this talk about sacrifice? Is that really necessary to solve this problem? Well, in truth, I do not know. All documents regarding the sign of Pasha have long been lost, and the traditions and rites surrounding it have also ceased to be passed down. If it had not been for me constantly looking up what documents were left, there might not have been any more left to know what the right, or that the right of Chenvat existed at all. According to my research, the Peri are the descendants of Simurg, and should therefore also have the power to transform into Caravana to purify the land. And would you not say that a grand sacrifice to save the world on the part of the divine bird's heirs very much suits our order's style? What? That's so haphazard. This sacrifice you're talking about doesn't sound like a small thing either. Why aren't we thinking of other ways to solve this issue? I'm sure there's got to be some alternative. Right, Traveler? It's always been this way, hasn't it? I'm very good at my job, after all. I already said that you need not interfere. Simply witness my sacrifice shall suffice. It is something worth celebrating that we, Peri, should sacrifice our lives to purify the earth. Well, you say that, but I would ask that you keep a respectful distance from that which you do not comprehend, outsiders. But since this is the case, well, I was planning to investigate the Tungi Hollow, or Tunigi Hollow, to make preparations for the rite of Chinvat anyway. Why don't you come along? I trust that you also wish to see the scars left behind by a fissure that once led beyond our world's bounds. When you see it, I believe you shall understand. Well, Paimon is kind of curious. A sound plan. In that case, I shall lead the way. After all, you would find it impossible to freely traverse this land where the Caravana battles against impurity. My Yeshnepati, follow me to the end. Watch me complete my mission. Okay, Peri are very mysterious creatures, and as the bloom guard of her race, Sharash can replace your characters to fly and move. When Sharash is in flight, your character will stay in place to await her return. When in flight, Sharash can ascend or descend, and can use the accelerate skill to increase her flight speed. Sharash cannot be too far from your character, though. A bloom guard should never abandon others, after all. Sharash can call upon the special energies within items around which mysterious mayflies dance. Press Shirah's interact skill to allow her to use her power to guide the might of I am terrible at pronouncing words. Hold her interact skill to cause her to stop and continuously channel Khvarena might. During this time, you can control your character freely. As a Peri, Sharash can also perceive some things beyond normal human sight. Okay, so she's an equipable item. Huh. Oh, she's an actual item. Well then, keep that on then. I thought she was gonna be like the little floaty jar thingy, but she's not. What else just popped up? Oh, this. I guess I'll go ahead and try this out then. Okay. I don't know what that was supposed to do, but whatever. Is that deep pit the Tunigi Hollow you were talking about earlier? There's super huge crystals all over the place, even bigger than the ones we saw before. They look scarier, too. These were once huge trees used to steal and subdue the creatures of the dark depths. The power of defilement has corrupted them, warping them into such forms as you see now. Since the monsters have been sealed, it sure doesn't look like anyone needs to sacrifice themselves again. That is why we must use the power of Khvarena to reopen the way. Hey, wouldn't that just release the monsters again? They took so much effort to seal it, too. No. I mean that we must open the path to the sign of a Pasha. The way to the rift in the earth was sealed long ago. It can never lead to the true darkness again. But that is exactly why that sealed rift does indeed connect to the illusion of the abyss. We only need to use the great songs of Khvarena to stabilize the seal before initiating the rite of Chinvat to pass through the darkness and reach the sign. This is a ritual performed by the Peri that will allow us to open a path through the darkness. It is said that the first, whatever that is, Nagarjuna and the Peri did just that. But we must first attain the great songs and gather the power of Khvarena in order to initiate the rite. That's all well and good, but what will we do once we reach the side that the sign is on? I do not know what happens after that. I have encountered legends that our first Vijnanapati Nagarjuna was lifted up to the heavens before he used divine power to extinguish the sign, but that, I feel, is mere myth. I believe that Khvarena's envoys will have some way, since they can purify the defiling impurities. They must also have some way to extinguish the sign. Did Sharash not also say that she wishes to imitate the sacrifice of Simarg? The world is built upon conflict and sacrifice, after all. Well, that's what Sharash says, sure, but that's way too irresponsible of you. Oh, don't fret. Before the necessity of any sacrifice can be discerned, we must still bring the great songs of Khvarena together. At the moment, we have yet to take even the first step forward. Says the guy who's just been talking this whole time. Well, basically, only the Pra who has been chosen as a Bloomguard can touch the great songs. But our current envoy, Latras, has yet to retain that right. Is that so? For all that bluster, you really aren't all that, huh, Sharash? You dare speak to me like that, pale floater? Well, Paimon isn't a pale floater. Only by obtaining the twin-horned chaplet may she become the Bloomguard, a being able to gather the power of Khvarena. As such, she must first be acknowledged by Lady Servan, the first Pari. She is a mighty Pari who once fought alongside our ancestors. It is even said that she was the very Pari who fought alongside the ancient heroes to subdue the Embers of the Abyss. But that elder of ours is utterly unreasonable. She refuses to acknowledge my dearest desire. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about that. Still, even without the twin-horned chaplet, my sacrifice will suffice to accomplish this deed. Of course, I do not intend to doubt your desire to sacrifice yourself this way, But if you are unable to perform the rite and pass through the Dark Hollow, your wish will not be fulfilled nonetheless. However, I do have a suggestion. Lady Sharash called you her Yashnapati, did she not? Why don't you go with her to the Voruskasha Oasis? That is where Lady Servan may be found. Perhaps Lady Servan may yet change her mind should she see that we humans view Lady Sharash as the predestined envoy. And why aren't you going? Well, as for me, she would certainly look down on a bookish man like me considering her many years of experience. If she looked upon me, I doubt she would ever change her mind again. This is the only method we have at present to change our current situation. So please, do go with Lady Sharash to the sacred place protected by the Khvarena. Huh, aren't you a sneaky one? Looks like you're the only person coincidentally out of a job. Of course not. There is much I must do. For example, the preparations for the rite of Chimvat still must be done. It must also consult the words of the ancient scribes once more to discern the location of the great songs. As for the quarry drum you brought, I believe I may now form a connection with the Peri who sleep at present once more. Their awakening is necessary for the rite of Chimvat to occur. Regardless, I leave the matter of the twin horn chaplet to you two. Once everything is complete, let us meet at the campsite upon the Timir Mountains. Oh well, so we have to look for that Peri Elder, right? Well, let's hope she isn't as nasty as Sharash is. This is a very long segment. Oh, looky, let's go to this waypoint.
Keep up.
Oh, treasure chest.
Smells like something good is inside.
These tree vines have ensnared the scatter Khvarena. Sharash can use her power to extract this energy and channel it into the vines. Some tree vines have been affected by gray crystals and require additional Khvarena energy for their snare to be loosened.
Why is there a chest here?
There we go. Whoa, Krista here looks like... Could this be one of those Wanats that we've seen before? How did it get trapped here? So you call these children of an ancient dragon the Wanat? Still, it does not have a sinful form. Thus it was merely unlucky to have been caught in the crossfire and sealed here. Well, maybe it's a good thing it's been sealed here. If not, it might have just popped out of the ground and swallowed us all in one go. I don't think you'd be very good to eat, Paimon. Huh. Paimon's not sure how to feel about that. You two certainly look like you get along well, or get on well. Of course, we're the best of buddies. But it is not also said that even constant companions would fail to notice if the other was spirited away by a sprite. These stories are quite common too, yes? What are you talking about? Traveler would never do that. Ha, I merely jest. If you are bosom buddies, surely my idle jokes will not move you. We shall soon reach the Vuroshkasha oasis. Come, let us hurry.
I hear everything. One with the force. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Keep up.
Okay, I'm confused now. Oh, over this way. Okay. Okay, as a form of Khvarena scattered upon the earth, Fairwicks contain that same power and will stick to your characters once picked up and affect nearby gear crystals. You can also put a Fairwick down where you need it to unleash its power. There we go.
I think we can forego the lost and found report.
Keep up. Keep up.
Paimon didn't think there'd be such a huge patch of green on the other side of the mountain. We were just in the desert, too. How strange. Impressive, is it not? It is our homeland, after all. The homeland of the Perry, so there'll be all sorts of other people like you here, right? You know what? Paimon's not all that keen on going. Should you not be excited beyond words? And the big tree stump over there looks like it's holding off the stuff oozing out of that big hole. That is the Vispocum. These names. The sacred form of the god that has granted us Perry life. It is not just some large stump. That's a god? Well, we've seen other gods, but this is the first time we've seen one looking like that. That is because our god cannot be considered alive. 500 years ago, our great god gave all to quell the power of the disaster affecting this place. Was that possibly the goddess of flowers? But she was stained with corruption and could not be reborn into a purer plane. Thus her divine consciousness continues to wander the mortal one. Our great god loves us with the sanctified Amreta, and the Lord of Verdor caused the Harvapak, whatever that name is, to grow from that, thus anchoring our god to this realm. The Verkasha oasis has been nourished by the Amrata, and even the Khvarena that defends this earth against its unending power by the god of the Arata. But this god of yours doesn't look too well. She's been trying to hold out against the stuff coming out of the hole this entire time. Her power maintains the seal over the Dark Hollow. I fear that the emergence of this sign is due to the attraction of that evil power. If it were not for the presence of I'm not repeating that, the defilement surging forth from that hollow would have infected the entire world. But it is also due to performing this duty that the tree has deteriorated so much. I do not believe that I could ever bear to be reduced to such a state. That is why I must leave a legacy of heroism behind for all to remember before it does happen. Well, never mind that first. Let's go look for this Servan person, shall we? If we can get that chaplet and fix the sky real quick, that might make your god feel all better too. I want this. There we go.
Keep up.
Well, if this isn't Sharash, such a rare guest. It has been a while, Elder Zervan. Elder? Well, if you call me that, then you should follow Perry norms and cease consorting with those humans whose hearts are heavy with their ulterior motives. I haven't gone against our norms. I have only made contact with humanity to find a way to extinguish the skyfire, just as the divine bird did. And is that why you have learned all that claptrap about sacrificing the humans? We Perry care nothing for such foolishness. Isn't it our duty as Perry to sacrifice ourselves to the battle, or in the battle against the defiling impurity? Await the call of destiny, Sharash. Only humans rush in blindly. This destiny you speak of is a nebulous thing. I cannot simply be expected to sit and wait for it. And that is precisely the danger. The chaplet you seek contains the highest authority over the Khvarena. In giving it to you, I may as well be handing the power of Khvarena over to those untrustworthy humans. Can't you just have more faith in me, Elder? Ugh, you too. Looks like we're being left out here, aren't we? Also, it seems like Sharash loses that cocky attitude of hers in front of Servan, huh? Hehe. Perhaps she has other hidden facets to her person. That's a scary thought. Well then, little ones, you came with Sharash, yes? This is not a place that ordinary humans may visit lightly. Let me see. Well, you certainly aren't from the order of skeptics. You seem to be outlanders, in fact. Well, in matters of curiosity, I suppose you two shall introduce yourselves first? I don't ask humans for their names often, you know. Paimon's Paimon, and he's Traveler. We're adventurers who shuttle across the vat. Adventurers, so you are travelers, then. Well then, I don't think I have seen a traveler much like you before. This is the forbidden land of the Peri, and the paradise nourished by Amrata, the shrine at which we pay reverence to our great god. Only heroes who have forged bonds with Peri and pilgrims who have come to Genuflet beyond our god may enter. I shall take it that you are Sharsh's companion then. It has been several hundred years since humans last visited our sea of flowers. That said, aren't there a ton of skeptics living outside in the desert? Don't they know how to enter this place? Ha! I should not permit such discourteous folk to enter our hidden realm. In the past, we Peri did indeed fight alongside their ancestors. We even lived here together. But many years have passed, and folly has grown strong amongst them. Even the traditional rites have become utterly forgotten. None living amongst them now can forge a lupa with a Peri. They should have been the ones to conduct the rite of Absor for the tree that suppresses the dark hollow, thus cleansing it of the filth that stained it. Yes, the deterioration of the tree could not be avoided, but if they had not neglected the rite and caused the seal to weaken, this terrifying sign would never have reappeared so soon. But human tradition is unreliable in this fashion. Compared to them, you outlanders, blank slates as you are, certainly seem more dependable. Paimon's not sure if you're actually praising us or not, but we're here to... I would guess that you're here about this sign in the sky. I doubt that anyone would notice our little nook is not for this great crisis. Well, we were commissioned to deal with this large hole, yeah. Oh my, oh my. So it is as I guessed. It seems that even after so long, the short-lived race is as short-sighted as ever. Still, if it were not that way, would you even need us Peri to act on your behalf? It looks like Peri are just pretty nasty as a whole. Regardless, since human heroes have again graced our secret garden, it seems the gears of destiny have begun to turn once more. And you seem to be an interesting human being, too. Ah, that takes me back. Once upon a time, I too traveled alongside humans as curious as you to quell a calamity. Perhaps you really might equal their great deeds. Well then, it's decided. I shall give you a chance. The two of you seem certainly more trustworthy than those blind and foolish skeptics. Elder, shouldn't you put your trust in me instead? Well, as for that, you do know where Rashnu and Mihir are, right? Go bring them here. They should still be enjoying their beauty sleep right now. This will serve as proof of your trustworthiness, and I will be able to give the chaplet to you. Oh, Paimon knows, so this is the kind of seal that everyone needs to get together to break, and then we can get the chaplet, right? Such improvised imagination. The chaplet can be given to you at any time, but to solve the issue of the sign of Pasha, we need their strength. Sharash alone will not be able to open the path through the Dark Hollow, not even with the chaplet. This, perhaps, is another example of the rule of 3. Paimon doesn't know what you're saying, but as long as we can get the chaplet, it's fine. Indeed, Traveler, Paimon, do help Sharash out, alright? I don't need help. You're not very honest, Sharash, but since your elders said so, guess you're just gonna you just gotta listen to us. Okay, so this segment of the quest line is finally over with. I'm going to claim this. Oh boy, I got 3 of them. Okay. So that is going to be the end of this segment of the quest line, and I'll see you guys later.